Welcome to Sports Management Podcast, where you will hear interesting sports management professionals share their stories, experiences, and passion for the sports management industry. I am your host, Marcus Philipsson. Welcome to episode 177 of Sports Management Podcast. Today's guest is Christ Ishoo, the founder of the professional paddle team Los Angeles Beat. He's also the co-founder of EEP Capital, EEP Padel and Allstars Gym in Spain. We spoke about the potential of paddle in the US, entrepreneurship in Sweden versus USA, bouncing back from business failures, why he founded an MMA gym in Spain, and much more. Christ Ishoo, welcome to Sports Management Podcast.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you on the show. You are the co-founder of EEP Capital and also the founder of Los Angeles Beat paddle team. So can you tell us a little bit about what you are doing with these things?
Yes, I created that EEP Capital. The idea came to me because I was part of this building the paddle infrastructure in Sweden. We built a lot, and I saw actually what you should do, but more importantly, what you shouldn't do. And this very over-establishing fast and building anywhere. And so I created, my idea was to do it in US, which I think is the biggest sports market in the world, and do it in a way where it's growing healthy and you are not, you need to know. So it's sustainable. So you know that it will work in 5-10 years. And I actually have that idea from Andreas Sandvall, who, in my opinion, is Mr. Padel in Sweden. And I was one of the first guys who sponsored him 2013 in Uppsala when he started that. And I saw what he became for Padel and this community, and people came and built much bigger than him, but still his facilities were working due to the community build and who he was. So with that knowledge and some other stuff that I saw in the industry, I created EEP Capital and brought in some bankers and Swedish NHL players. One of my friends manages a lot of NHL players' money there. And I said, I need some star quality, which was also in the case in Sweden. In Uppsala, Mellberg came to Uppsala, Zlatan came, and in that way it became a big thing. So through that, the idea grew to make this, and I always liked the model of BlackRock, so be part of owning small pieces of everything that I think is good. So we created in that sense that Padel House, we support Bay Padel, Park Padel, Ace Padel. And one of the projects was Pro Padel League and LA Beat. And I'm actually the first franchise owner. So I believe in that project due to, I think that US is very different. They can make anything exciting. And I think actually sports of Padel needs that. And we can come back to that, why I think it's a different thing in doing it US. So then we created this LA Beat team, and yeah, here we are.
Exciting. So what were some learnings that you took from Sweden? You said there were some things that were positive and some that were negative. So what were some learnings you took when you implemented it in US?
One of the things that I saw very early, the sports of Padel, either you play or you open or you the racket, whatever, everything, it creates experts very fast itself. Like, because of, if you play 10 times, you think that you know everything about the sport. And this is general. It started in Sweden, but I see it everywhere. And the same aspect of this, the business part. So what happens when you open up a 6 facility because you have money or you have the space, or if you remember in Sweden 2020-21, people were in line to sign any lease just to open Padel, because it makes you feel good as player and as a business person. Because when you have the numbers on your side, it's just, I'm good at this. I actually know what I'm doing. And this is the risk when you don't think about the long-term vision and what works, what doesn't work, what is the least cost, what happens with the competition, how can I do when I'm opening a facility in some way? Because it shouldn't be about the competition, about who has the lowest price, because then you are risking the business a lot. Who has the best program, who has the best court, who has the best facility, coaches, and so on. That's the point, things that, and some other things that, of course, I'm keeping for myself when I'm investing in people. And but that's today. I think I have built, Marcus, over 700 courts around the world, from over 110 clubs, from Sweden, Norway, Finland, South Africa, Mexico, Canada, US, in different. So I have done it for many years and many places. So I believe that I'm pretty confident that when I say go to a place, I feel confident that it not just it will work today, it will work in 5-10 years, which is more important than, because today it will work anywhere we open.
I guess that you did some market research before investing in the US market, and you said before that it's a very promising market and it's the biggest sporting market in the world. So what are some aspects of the US market that you feel is so beneficial for paddle?
Yep. Number one is one of the biggest racket sports countries in the world. They love racket. And I saw what happened with pickleball. I don't remember the right numbers. I hope I'm right, but I think there are like 35 million tennis players in US. Pickleball very fast. I think it's even more, but I think it's 15-20 million today in 6-7 years. Padel is around 40-50,000 today. And at that time, when I came to US 5 years ago, I think it was approximately a couple of thousand people playing. And it was around 60-70 courts. So what I saw, what I believe that if pickleball and squash, and 3.5 million squash players in the US. When I saw these numbers, I said, of course there is a big market. Of course we can. The difference is it's a costly thing. It's a big space. It takes a lot of space, and the risk in padel compared to any other racket sport, it's the liability through the glass, because in US it's a risk if somebody gets injured and sued. So I had to think about all of this when I was doing this. But I still believe that due to the numbers and the sports in general in US, I believe that US will work. So that's the number that I looked at.
And obviously you believe in it also as the founder and you said the franchise with the Los Angeles Beat. So how do you see Pro Padel League, and why did you want to be invested in one of the teams?
I think US in general, they can make anything exciting. If you look at the Frisbee teams are sold for $500,000. So they are very good at it. If you look at baseball, there are so many things happening around, and then just padel. And now with the risk being, sometimes I get misunderstood when I say this, but I really mean it. I think padel is a beautiful sport, but they have failed because it's more people who play padel than watch padel. Much, much more. And for me, I think that if we can make the difference in US through making it more exciting. For me today, if I go to background what I did, I saw there are 3-4 million active players in Spain, which with a 40 million population, I think it's more, but we say 3-4 million active players. The biggest star in the world today is Tapia with 600,000 followers. And this is now. This is not 5 years ago. With a sport that in 30 years have a lot of people playing it. That says something to me on the business side. What is the reasons? Yeah, in my opinion, you are doing it too often. It's every week somebody becomes champion. And it's almost always the 4, 6, 8 people in the top. And it loses this from outside, if you look at it, you say, okay, it's the same people winning every week. For the padel enthusiastic people, it's fun. But from point of view, if you don't play football, you will still watch football. If you don't play tennis, you will watch Novak Federer. Or this is what we need to. Why we are not there? I think it's the sport itself in the capital of the world, which is Madrid. On a Friday, it's not too much people. I think it's too often. It's too many days. So when PPL got introduced to me, I saw a little bit like Stanley Cup. I think you should play 1 year to win a one cup. So so you create a product where people want to say, do you have a Stanley Cup trophy? This is, I think, what Padel needs. And of course, without the youth program, because US, we need to create American superstars, without a doubt, like anywhere, because people follow your own countryman. In Sweden, you know this polo. When we have a so-called Swedish star, what happens? Everybody wants to watch it. Everybody follows. Even though you are not anything, you don't know anything about it. And so this is what we need to create in US. But that's the place where I think the sport can grow everywhere. Then it will benefit Premier Padel. It will benefit A1. It will benefit, because we need to make it more exciting, in my opinion. So that's why I and I chose Los Angeles because I was the first, because I think that's the biggest city in the world market through social media. If I can get movie stars, musicians, sports to play it and share it around the world, I will reach more people through LA than anywhere else on planet. So that's why I picked the LA team.
You said that more people are playing it than watching it. So do you think that's because the excitement doesn't transfer in like to the screen as well as there? Or is it that you said that maybe it's not so competitive, that there are only a few players that are able to win? Or what are some things that you think makes it less attractive for TV?
The thing is, if I say it's not exciting, it is, but I don't think the format is right, due to when you are doing something from a Tuesday to Sunday, every day, you cannot get anybody's attention. Besides, a World Cup is every 4 years. And then you can get people, and you cannot get them to watch every game, but you can get them watch your country's team, right? But generally, as a football, as a basket, what you do, they practice, they play 2 hours a week. So you can get people, they focus. But when Padel, it's every week, 35 weeks a year, and you have to follow them. If you're going to follow somebody, you need to follow them Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think it's too many hours. My opinion, the format is wrong. If you're going to do it, you need to make it more shorter, more like exciting. When they win a Wimbledon every year, it becomes something. So I think it has been done from the beginning in the wrong way, in my opinion. That's why it doesn't. People play it more than they watch it. If you ask, I can go with the biggest star in Padel in Madrid. Not many people will know them, because you have to know that the 500,000-600,000 following comes from Argentina, comes from Sweden, Germany. So it's your biggest of a 4 million people active player in a country, maybe 200,000 follow you in a fort. So of course, for me, business is numbers, right? And this is, what are we doing in the sport that it's not attracting, not just even the players. That's the first people we need to, how do we bring them in? Then eventually we need to bring in even people who don't play. Then you need to create some love and hate. You need to create drama, because I know, and you know, without asking, every week, the text is the same. We played in Belgium, very good. We lost next week. So you need to, in my opinion, if you're going to do business, you need to think differently and dare to maybe step on some toes and integrity of the sport, whatever, because that's what is necessary to do to make it different, I think.
Yeah. And you mentioned also to create some local stars, so some American, stars that will be famous. So that obviously creates talent. US is behind Spain and Argentina when it comes to paddle, that it's come later. So how many years do you think it will take before, world-class players will show up in US?
2013, when Padel came to Sweden, at that time, still it's like 300-400 Swedish crown, which is approximately 30-40 euro. And to create a star in anything, you need 10,000, 20,000 hours, right? And there are not many people who can afford. So first of all, you need to think about that how do we do youth programs affordable so people can, or like sponsorship, academies, because a kid that is good in tennis or badminton or football, had talent, they can be good in padel. So you need to, it just, that's the way sports work. You have the interest for racket sport or the talent, and then you need the hours to play, right? And I think that Sweden started very good and did school youth programs. And today, it's soon 11 years, we are number 2 in the world in under 18 after Spain. That's a very good, it took 10, 11 years, which I think will take in any country because they are so further ahead. If you come to Spain and play with number 500 here, there are so many that are good in Spain and Argentina that they don't play maybe on the tour, but still they are amazing, can beat a lot of, because they have been here for many years. But I think your answer to your question, number one is to make it accessible for youth people and from 8-9 years old, and make it affordable in one way or another. The second one, I think it would take 10 years to come at close to what Spain and Argentina. And eventually you need to be, anyone who is a professional, even Swedish professionals, if they don't come and practice in Spain, they will, I'm sorry, the level is not there. So you need to think about the program, coaching program, youth program, and like a 13-year-old in Spain compared to a 13-year-old in US. The 13-year-old in Spain has played since he was 8 with the right coaches, level. So it takes time to build this, without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Like, how much could it help with like brand or like sport ambassadors, with Beckham or whoever is showing up with the paddle? You mentioned before that, there are football players, hockey players. I know there are some MMA fighters that you work with as well. So for the US market, maybe like that could help to boost awareness a little bit.
I will announce some big movie stars in a couple of weeks. I will announce the first permanent other club in LA. It took us a very long time, but we are working it's a 7 courts facility in a very good location. And we have some working with some movie stars to be part of what we're doing. Absolutely. That's the game. People follow social media, people follow. So we are working to get that in. Absolutely. At the same time, I'm very keen, and important part is, how do I do youth program? Because if I'm going to charge, and in US it's much more expensive due to the land. I have to charge $180, $200 per hour to play padel. And if you're going to play and become a professional at the age of 8, 10, it's a lot of hours, a lot of money. So that's a balance. How do we do that? How do we find a solution to bring the future of padel for LA? And actually, they are the ones who will follow the team. Will be the fan base. So it's not only beneficial for this sport itself and for the future of padel in the US and LA, it's very beneficial for my team, because the fan base comes a 40, 50-year-old person. That's also an issue. Like, I am not following, I don't know you, even if you know that I have super famous people around me, I have MMA gym. But if I don't know you, I don't watch you. I watch only my fighters, then I don't watch, because of my age, or I don't follow anybody that I don't know. And I think, but if you are young, that becomes a team or a person you follow, and that's the business part of it.
Yeah, that's exciting and interesting, because I think that the younger people today, they are not maybe loyal to teams per se, but maybe more to players. And if they move teams, they follow that player instead of being loyal to the team.
Yes. We actually in LA, we have Luis Estrada. I believe he's number one, number two in US. And he's an amazing personality. He's in LA, he moved to LA. And I think I want to build a lot of momentum around him. And he's getting better and better playing with a high level play. He's been in Madrid on training camp. So he's very young. So we are hoping, but still for the future, for being top 100, top 50, it's different to top 20, top 30. So, like in any sport.
Of course. Yeah, you mentioned that you do some other things as well with some MMA fighters. You have an MMA gym in Spain together with Reza Madadi and Alex Mahler Gustafsson. How did that come about?
I grew up with Reza in Sweden, in Uppsala. And from there, I was both football player and some boxing. And we knew each other since we were kids. And when Reza went to UFC, he's actually, I think, after David Bierkeden, he's the second one, I think, UFC fighter. Then Alex came, and so I knew them. I've known them all my life. And I moved to Spain. At the same time, I was doing this paddle. Me and Reza, he wanted to move. He said, let's do something together. And the idea came up to, all right, you know what? I don't think just making an MMA gym is a business, because I need to have 1,000 fighters to make it a business. So because people want to be around them, right? So let's create where it's a small part of it is MMA gym, but the majority part of it's a regular gym with CrossFit, rail machines, and outdoor gym, indoor gym, cafeteria. And now it's yoga, it's eyelashes, laser, recovery center. So it became like a place, like same thing. I built a community in Spain that everybody in this city want to be part of. Say, I trained there.
Does Reza also have a connection to Spain, or why
Yeah, he
open in
lives
Spain?
here.
Ah, he
No,
lives here as well.
Yes,
Oh, I didn't
yes.
know that.
Yeah, he lives here. Yeah.
Do you know Hamzat as well?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
He had a great fight the other weekend
Great.
here.
Yes, we were super happy. Super happy. We did an amazing job.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're an entrepreneur, several things. So has this always been a part of you being entrepreneurial, or when did this start growing?
Yes, I started at age of 20, 21, and I've done everything from restaurant to construction company. And I really believe a couple of characteristics for a business person. I'm sorry, for a entrepreneur is you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I can actually handle that and handle stress. I don't. It's a mindset, and I really love, even when it's as the difficult part, how to find a solution. My brain goes only to solution. I don't see problems, and I'm not a university educated person, so I don't analyze as much. Say everything needs to be perfect before I do something. I think that helps me in business, and I always try to be correct in business. So I have the same phone number for 30 years. So, and that helps me with connection and when I'm opening new countries. And I love it. I actually love the creation of the business more than because I'm not never in the one place working. That's not me. I will not work. But I love to create and grow businesses.
So you don't want to stay in the same place in too long?
I think my happiness is in my freedom. I like to be able to, hopefully in also a couple of months, I've worked very hard to create the EEP Capital in Asia for Jakarta, Bali, Japan, and we will announce it hopefully in a couple of months, and we're going to start in Asia. And for me, that's my freedom to have businesses, Asia, Europe, US. If I want to move, I move. And that's a little bit.
It's a global enterprise after all.
Hopefully it will be, yes. From Gottsunda to global, that's the goal.
So EE Padel, and what does it stand for something or?
Yes. The first E comes from L-Joy. And L-Joy is, me and two other guys started an electricity company called L-Joy in Spain, where we translated Spanish invoicing to 6 different languages. This started 6 years ago, which is working very good. And El is Swedish, is electricity. Joy is Jadehol, Uttusson, and Ishu, our last names. And then when I started Joy Padel, we started to sell courts. One company called Econatura came and bought part of our company. Unfortunately, that owner of that company, after 3 months of buying part of my company, got the cancer, unfortunately, and he passed away. And then of course, he said, I cannot continue. So I sold him back, like I gave him back the money and took the company. But at that time, we put Eljoy, Econatura, Padel. So it became EE Padel. So I honored him, Theo, by keeping EE. So Eljoy and Econatura, which was a big turf manufacturer company here in Spain.
That's nice to keep his name in the company.
Yes.
For his legacy to be there.
Because it was one of in the beginning, he was with me when we were exporting to Sweden. And
has there been any bumps on the road in your career? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Of course. That's actually the one thing that I would say. I moved from Sweden because I don't like it. The one that you are not allowed to fail in Sweden. If you fail one time in Sweden, you are done. It doesn't matter. It's about, we have a system, Marcus, with Kronofogden and stuff. Even if you try to make it right, still 5 years, you cannot do anything. So it's not the best country for me as an entrepreneur. It's the best country for if you're going to work. It's amazing in that sense. But as an entrepreneur, I really didn't see because I failed. I didn't I don't want to go into details, but I had a construction company and I had issues with the Swedish union, construction union. And I lost a lot of money and I have to file for bankruptcy in Sweden. But I decided that I never complain. It is what it is. I cannot continue doing it in Sweden. So I will move and I will create businesses elsewhere where they are more friendly to entrepreneurs, where even if you fail, because you learn much, much more from failure than success. Whoever says different is success is something, it's very nice, it's feeling, but when difficult time comes, then you show how good of a business guy, entrepreneur you are. I normally say a business is when I create a gym example and it works and everything, it's super good, then that's very easy. Everybody's positive. But what happens when you cannot pay salary? Some month, Corona comes and it closes. What happens then? You will know your partners at two occasions. One, when it goes super, super good, then everybody's egos comes in. The one when it goes super bad. Then you will know who is your partner, who can handle it, who cannot handle it. So I have failed, without a doubt. I have failed, but I have learned. And I've never complained. I never lay down. I always bounce back and say continue. And still I'm learning. I have so much to learn. For me, one of the things that I loved about US, Marcus, is that I have run businesses since I was 20. And in Europe, in Sweden, always, in my opinion, it's not like you work again, like somebody's always like, tax government, everybody's against you. Even the people, like nobody wants to see you succeed. Unfortunately, that's the mindset that I grew up with. But I'd never care. I never complain. The difference is in the US, when they see somebody doing something good, they actually pull you up. That's a very unique experience where one gives you, you should talk to them. They would help you with this. They would help you. That's very unique for US that I have never experienced. I get pulled up. Where in Sweden, in Europe, you are always working toward like headwind, but you're pushing. But that made me very strong. So I again, no complaint, just learn from it. And it's just different. There is no right or wrong in this world. It's just different.
No, it's interesting because we have this in Sweden, we call it the jantelagen, that you shouldn't believe that you are like anything or more than you are. And it's complete different mindset in US with the American dream and you want to chase that. And I can see that. I haven't experienced it, but I can see like how that plays out.
It's actually like the confidence. I'm a confident person. I always believed in myself. And for me, that works very well there because when I'm doing something in paddle courts, everybody who know me, they know the best thing you can do is know as much as me. Because I'm not saying I'm better than you, but I will know everything there is to know when I'm doing something because I want to be the best what I do and I want to be confident. But if you say that, you know that if I say this in Sweden, it's always a little bit nothing right or wrong, but it's different, of course. Yeah, he's cocky, but I don't mind that. I just go ahead with mine. And if something doesn't work for me, I change and I do it in a way it works and stop complaining about the situation. That there are a couple of things in the world today that everybody's trying to convince you my way is the right way, my religion is the right way, my politics. No, everybody's different. You need to find your way. You need to find what makes you happy. My way of business maybe doesn't work for 100 other people. I cannot say my way is the only way that it worked for me due to my background, due to the failure, it's so individual.
So with that in mind and everything you've been through, what's some advice that you would give young people that maybe they want to be entrepreneurs and start their own companies?
Take a risk. Take a step forward, even if it's wrong, at least you took that step forward and go back and if you go right and was wrong, come back and go left. But if you don't take that step, the only thing that happened that you will know you are in the same place. One thing that I always say, being ambitious but lazy is very bad combination. Being said, I want this, but I don't want to take the risk. I don't want to put the work. I don't want to risk money. At age of 20, I really think that just be around people that have done it and learn. And when you are 30, you need to try. You need to start to try. Even if you lose 500,000, you are young, you can do it again. It's just money, but you will learn. If you don't, this is a little bit like what we learn in school. So many, like a risk analyst, risk. There is risk. There is no way you can do anything. There is no perfect business in the world. There is no risk-free business in the world. If you look for that, you will never move forward. So my is always, and one of the things, be comfortable learn to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And when something needs to be taken care of, first thing, entrepreneur, you need to learn. If it's a most difficult phone call you need to do today, don't put it up to tomorrow. Make it today. How difficult it is. Because if you start one day pushing that phone call to tomorrow, next day will be 2 days, 3 days, and then you will fail in. And it just as a building character. That's small advice I follow from it.
Yeah, that's a good one. To do the most maybe difficult tasks first, so you get them out of the way. I'd like to ask also a networking question. So someone from your network, who do you think would be a good guest on this podcast?
There are many. I think there is one woman, Sarah, who works with clothing that I think I think we should have more women in this industry. And I think that should be a really good one. There are people in the US, Michael Dorfman, who is the CEO of PPL, I think should be good. There is a guy in the US called Gabriel, who owns San Diego. I think also is doing very good things for Padel. He's a San Diego owner. He owns Tactica Club. He's like in the USPA, and he's a really good ambassador for the sport. He owns teams in Hexagon, so I think it's also good person.
Fantastic. Christ Ishoo, thank you so much for taking the time to be on Sports Management Podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Sports Management Podcast. Please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought about this episode. If you want to get in contact with me, send an email to sportsmpodcast@gmail.com or hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @sportsmpodcast.